Alright, so we're dealing with the Pythagorean Theorem here, which is just simply this formula. Commit this to memory, it is super helpful. Okay, Pythagorean Theorem only works when we have a 90-degree triangle or a right triangle. Remember, we want to label all sides, so here's angle A, angle B, angle C, little a, little b. And notice these are opposite of where the big numbers are, or the big letters are, right? So that's how we know how to label the sides. So let's say that I have this right triangle and I am given this is 10, this is A, and this is 12, right? Well, then I know, oh, well, that then is B and that then is C, because the hypotenuse is always C. So I just plug this stuff in. I go A squared plus 10 squared equals 12 squared. Now I square the stuff and I get 100 and I get 144. Then I subtract 100 from both sides and I get a squared equals 44. Then I square root to get rid of the square, and what I do to one side I do to the other. And the square root of 44 is, let's see, square root of 44 is 6.63. And there is my answer for the length of that side right there. Okay, let's do another one. Here's my triangle. Let's call this, let's say they just give me side lengths. Let's say they give me 9 and 8. And we've got to find C, right? Well, one of the things that you notice here is that, well, this is A and that's B. Again, notice it doesn't really matter how I label A and B because it's the legs of the triangle that are that we're identifying there. What's most important is this C, which always has to be the hypotenuse, because A squared plus B squared equals C squared is the equation that we're using. So A squared is 64 and B squared is 81 and C squared. So 64 plus 81, 145 equals C squared. Square root to kill off the square, square root 145, the square root of 145 equals 12.04, and that is the length of C. Let's do the same one. Let's change out where some of the numbers are. Let's go 9 here, 8 here. Okay, well that means now is that my hypotenuse is C, and that my area is, or sorry, my little a is 8, and B is my question mark now. So again, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. What we've got is 8 squared plus B squared equals 9 squared, which is again 64 plus B squared equals 81. Here I'm going to subtract 64 from both sides to get to the end. And 81 minus 64 is 17, so B squared equals 17, and I square root both sides in order to get rid of the square, and the square root of 17 equals 4.12, so B equals 4.12. So there's my answer for that one. Now notice this, if I have the same right triangle and 8 is over here and 9 is here, notice again using this that it generally, let's call this A and this B this time around. A squared plus 8 squared equals 9 squared. Notice you're still going to subtract 64. These two are the exact same problem, except one I'm solving for A, one I'm solving for B, but they will perform the exact same way. Okay. Essentially, what I want you to notice is if I have two legs, I'm adding. If I have a leg and a hypotenuse, I subtract. Okay? So leg and hypotenuse subtract, two legs I add.